Welcome in, Jason Priester, all ClemsonTigers.com, part of the Clemson Maven multimedia platform. Before we get started, I want to remind you, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Wanted to check in today and do a little quick update on 2024 wide receiver target Alex Taylor. He's a guy Clemson has been in on for quite some time. The first wide receiver offer to go out last June for the 2024 class. Taylor announced yesterday that he is going to announce a commitment on July 29th. So still a little bit off in the distance. He's still got some officials to take. He's going to go to Clemson, North Carolina State, Virginia Tech, not necessarily in that order, but those are the schools he's going to take officials to. Is going to start with Clemson that first weekend in June. Probably a three-team battle, really. Clemson, North Carolina State, probably Clemson and North Carolina State probably at the top of the list. North Carolina State Virginia Tech kind of hanging around there. But this is a kid that really impressed. I think it was a Rivals camp a few weeks ago. If you're interested in checking out some of those clips, they're floating around Twitter. But he was awfully impressive at that camp. Showed off his hands. He's so smooth getting in and out of his breaks. He can go up and get the 50-50 ball. He's really good against, man-on-man coverage. I mean, there's a lot of things to like about Alex Taylor. He is one of several receivers set to be on hand that first weekend in June. He'll be joined by Braylon Staley, Cam Colin, Bryant Wesco, TJ Moore. I know Jonathan Paylor's put it out there that he's planning to take an official to Clemson. I have doubts whether that visit actually transpires. He's supposed to have made it to Clemson a couple of times already earlier this season. Something comes up each and every time he doesn't quite make it. The kid that has maintained for a while South Carolina was his leader, and probably a very distant leader. I would put them in the driver's seat in the land, Paylor, at this point. So I wouldn't expect him to be there that weekend. But, stranger things have happened. But again, a commitment date, July 29th for Taylor. That'll give him about a month to mull over a decision after he's taken all of his officials. Taylor's a kid that I've had a couple of conversations with over the past few months, and he talks about the culture at Clemson. He talks about the new offense. He stopped in for a spring visit towards the end of spring practice. Got to see the new offense firsthand. Really liked what he saw. Likes the dedication they're going to make to take some shots down the field a little more so than they have in the past couple seasons. So a lot of things to like about where Clemson stands with Taylor. Again, it's going to announce July the 29th. He's going to take officials to Clemson, North Carolina State, Virginia Tech, and then go from there. Clemson's going to take two wide receivers in this class. I really believe those two will come from the guys that are in attendance for that official visit weekend. I don't think we'll have to see the board expand any further. Mike Matthews is kind of a wild card in this thing. He's a guy they're recruiting as an athlete, so he wouldn't necessarily count against that number. So if you can land him, and I certainly think they're in the thick of it for him, he's another guy that'll be there that weekend. That would technically give you three wide receivers. There's a lot to like about the makeup of the wide receiver room right now. You add a couple of these guys that are going to be here in June, and there's a lot more to like about it. There's a couple of guys in there that could add a whole different dynamic. I think Taylor's one of those guys. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to check us out, allClemsonTigers.com.